Now, without further ado, the long-awaited, long-delayed, I am so ashamed of this. Reading is fundamental. Invasion of Wrestletopia Issue 5. We got this back in the fall, ladies and gentlemen. So we've issues upon issues. Now we're finally getting into it. Now, Raz, you're new. You haven't seen any of the issues. I don't know if you read part 4, but I don't. It's not necessary. I have all 5 issues. I'm gonna send them to you via Skype, and I'm gonna have you at your leisure. And when you're ready, we're gonna do a review of you reviewing all 5 issues when you're ready. So, with Flex, I know you read it a while ago, and yes. I read it today. So I have notes like I did last time. Notes. Yes. So. You can go first, and then I will give all my notes, and then of course I'll chop this out and make this his own review.
So I kind of got the same feel for this issue as we did from the last one. It's definitely building up to something.
Yes.
Like the first few issues were pretty action packed, I guess you can say. It's pretty much straight to the point. We're here to fuck up Earth, okay? And now we're getting these 2 issues of them kind of just traveling cross country to kind of find a way to save the Earth or whatnot, or at times I
would call it character building in a way.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it's building up to something, and it's kind of like Rory fighting between cowardice and courage. Like he wants to save the Earth, but then he wants to just kind of like fuck off and live his life. So I think it's a good, like you said, good opportunity for character building. It's building up to something, which I hope it is, because after these 2 issues that we're kind of just mellowed out.
Right.
Kind of just gives us the time to sit back and process what's going to happen, or what we think is going to happen, which is, I'm thinking it's going to be the showdown. Obviously, I would assume that's how the plot continues.
Throws for a loop.
So I'm just gonna imagine like the next issue he just gets shot in the face by.
Could you imagine?
That's it. It's over. But I like the characters, man. Like, if you were to show this to a younger person, do you feel like they would be offended by the kind of cultural, or I don't know what's the word? Like, they got like a midget. They got a man who's not even Chinese, who plays like a very stereotypical Chinese wrestler. You know what I'm saying?
This sounds problematic as fuck.
It's good though.
It's good, but it harkens back to the old late 90s when we weren't all so sensitive.
That's what you're gonna feel
when we all had sense of humor and didn't take ourselves too seriously. And so being a 90s baby, or at least growing up in the 90s like that was, I can appreciate the story as is and not. But I get what you're saying. Like this is more for those nostalgic people. But you're right. Showing this now with all the cultural sensitivity, the overhyped PC talk, you're right. I can see that maybe they wouldn't appreciate it as much.
But I like it.
I like it too.
This is like a sci-fi alcoholic take on I think it's early 2000s movie Royal Rumble. You remember that?
Oh my god, I probably didn't see it, but
Bill Goldberg.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay, you done?
Yep.
All right, so yes, issue number 5. I loved it. I always love it. So the very first thing I thought when I read the first panel was I knew that Drazen, he had an ulterior motive. I knew it. I immediately knew it. And by the way, this is mild spoilers, so if you haven't read issue 5, which you should by now because we're so behind, mild spoilers. The way Rory escaped, he was in a runaway truck. The way he escaped, I also with his belt using the little glass, the little gems in it, and he kicked out the glass. For some reason, I don't feel like that was done. I think that was part of Drazen's plan for him to escape. It didn't feel like, he just, he was really trying to kill him. I don't know why. I didn't get that feeling like, he was really trying to kill this guy. He gave him a way out, and I think that was part of his plan. So there's a panel after that where Rory is walking off into a field or into the desert, and there's an old picture in the foreground of him as a young man, and did it freeze? Did I lose everything? And we're back after some whatever issue happened here at the studio because my life sucks. So like I was saying, so yeah, I think that when he kicked out the window to that truck, it was part of Dre's plan. Now there was a panel right afterwards that I really appreciated, and that was where Rory was walking off into the field. It looked like a field to me, but I guess it was the desert. And in the foreground, you see that there was a picture of him and a young man burning, And when I saw that panel, I said, this panel by itself alone screams, make me a movie adaptation, because I could see that cinematically, him walking off into the desert and that thing just floating into camera, burning up, like the old me is dead and gone. Like the minute I saw that, it's the first time I was like, you know what? This can be an adaptation along the lines of like maybe a lighter version of Watchmen. But okay. I saw it with that panel. You know what panel I'm talking about, right, Flex?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so and then as I'm sitting there like, wow, that's kind of deep. The very next panel, they're discussing an escaped Alaskan bear, and I literally busted out laughing. I'm like, you went for something so deep, I don't know. The very next panel, it's this brown Alaskan bear has escaped, and I started laughing. It was the funniest thing. That's comic timing. So then I come back to Rory, and he's following a random turkey. All you see across the screen is gobble, 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 gobble. I'm just like, this is absurd. What the hell is happening? But it was a funny cliche take on the wise Native American trope. I enjoyed that a little bit. You know what I'm talking about, right, Flex? It was kind of like
a Vision Quest.
Exactly, but basically he dosed him with freaking acid. But side note, I want to take some peyote. Whatever, if it's anything like the next panels that we saw Rory go through, I need some peyote. I'm telling you this right now because that looks freaking awesome. In his drug-induced trip, he seems to be in a wrestling match with versus who he was, super young, super buff dude, and who he will be if he stays on his path, which is a super fat alcoholic with a beer in his hand. And I found it to be very interesting because there was they were in the replacements. Gene Hackman's character tells Shane, whatever his name was, he's like, one day the man that you are and the man that you ought to be will meet, and that'll make her a hell of a football player. And this is kind of what that is the man that he was and the man he will be when he continues on the path. And if they meet together, they'll make a hell of a hero or a hell of a. When I saw that, I immediately thought of the replacements moment. Then it was followed by a quick fight with his dad as some masked guy. And at that point, I said, okay, Rory has some serious issues. Definitely, he's got some demons. That's immediately what I thought. So we're gonna move it along. They run on a train, and inside the train, he's talking to I forget the girl's name, the girl from his past. And basically, that Vision Quest, which was again psychedelic and awesome, it got him in his feelings. I think that's the first time in this. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, Flex. I think that was the first time we seen Rory vulnerable.
Cry.
Well, not considered cry, but vulnerable. He was in his feelings. He showed some the softer side of him. I mean, I think that's the first time. I can't think of any other time that he was vulnerable like that he showed any heart.
As a child.
Oh yeah. But I mean, like in the narrative where it is now. So, but to sum it up in one word, this wrestling match on top of a moving train. That's how I have to. You saw the final panels.
Mm.
Could you imagine that being played out on a movie?
Yeah, it was in Kickboxer Retaliation.
They were doing wrestling on top of a moving train.
They're practicing. Well, they're fighting each other in a moving train. Yeah.
Oh well, I mean we've seen that before, but I'm just like, can you see people doing pile drives and drop kicking on top of a moving train? I thought that was awesome. So that is my review for issue 5 of Invasion of Wrestletopia. It's fantastic. I'm enjoying it. Definitely enjoying it. The art style was on par. I still like issue 4's art style better. It was far more pretty. This was normal. It was fine. Nothing against it. But issue 4 is still my favorite one artistically. I agree with Flex that this is obviously character building as they go toward whatever the main event's going to be, and I'm curious to see what was it? I think it's Drazen's real plans are. I mean, he wants to take over Earth, but I feel like there's more to it. So I look forward to issue 6 when it comes out. They probably held back issue 6 because they didn't review issue 5, but now it's out there, and I'm excited about it. Raz, I'm gonna get you all 5 issues. I'm gonna send them all to you. You're gonna review them for us, and
cool.
If you want to do one at a time, it's cool. Or if you want to do all 5, you can take notes. You don't have to take notes, but we'd love to catch you up so we can continue enjoying this together.
Geek Bros.